maybe a one-of in the secondary or tertiary, but this is a real committal to a card that got kind of nerfed in a way that made most people kind of second guess bringing it as much as before.
Yeah, we don't. Before we used to see it all the time, just about to go.
So powerful.
Now we don't. We rarely see it. We do to see the tertiary deck that Raiding Party Bro Skywalker has brought. Mostly Shark with the lackeys. That's the one you see the most.
For sure. Well, this is going to be Reconnect versus Skywalker. Like we said, the Raiding Party Rogue in the bottom and then the Beast Hunter up top. Already starting off with that South Sea deckhand. I mean, that's not a... Is that just a power play to get something on the board?
It is. It's just what you want. You just have to have something against the Beast. And you gotta go quickly, because you're not the one going for that face. Looking for all the weapons and all the ones possible to actually get that value out of it. So I mean, maybe even considering just coin waggle pick and then just having both Corsairs out on the field.
Yep, for sure. I think that has to be the play. So much value, just almost before you can even think about it. Look, what has the Hunter done at this point? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, not much, because Reconnect started with Frenzy and Unleash the Hound marks. You're not really doing, you're not trying to really clear the board at all. So somewhat unlucky of a starting hand for Reconnect.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically all Skywalker all the time. Now, what's the way that you come back? Do you have to wait until turn 6 for that frenzy play?
With the Scaled Hide that he does have in his hand. But before that, you gotta worry about this Beard. All the Corsairs on the field, they can... It's already 9, not just 9 damage.
Right, it's 12 damage.
Yeah.
That's just so much damage. It's more damage than... it's just unfathomable. Well, I guess it is fathomable.
Even with the Life Drinker, that might just come down.
Yeah. Mark Shot, not a bad option here. You're just trying to buy turns one after another.
What do you get? Like multi-shot would be excellent.
Yeah, multi-shot's good. You could also get another Mark Shot. That would not be bad, but okay, I like actually going for the Arcane Shot. It's not a card that you want.
It's not as strong, but still you can get some value out of it.
For sure, and it's great against decks that rely on a lot of small, high-damage units, like that South Sea deckhand.
Already down to 10.
Wow, 10 at turn 4!
Ouch.
Raiding Party, the reports of his demise greatly overstated. Still very, very good, especially if you can snowball perfectly like this.
Is that the Timberwolf? To get some more from the rush, from the Springfall and Lynx.
This is where Reconnect kind of wishes he was playing Civilizations so that he could get one more turn. But I don't think he can. He's got 10 HP and not too many ways to survive much longer. I mean, thankfully he'll be able to at least clear off a little bit more of the board, but he's just so close. It's dying. It's totally estimatable that the Rogue has kill potential next turn. Let's see, Leroy would be 6. Let's see, Eviscerate, that's 8 at max damage with something like a ping. So I think probably it's hard to die this turn, but I mean, what happens after you have your Hyena sapped? Like, where do you go from there?
And then you just use your Frenzy. That's Reconnect bot one more turn for turn 6 to have that life steal. And Skywalker's, he just has to use his zap here. You don't want that Hyena on the board. Pushing for a few more damage until 10. And Eviscerate 1, I think Skywalker can actually go for that, but the second one would be tough.
Blood and plunder.
Yeah, actually chooses to throw down the Dread Corsair and the Bloodsail Corsair instead of going for the SI7 agent to just get 2 damage to face. And that represents more damage, I think, overall, but as we know with the Scale High turn coming through, at least this way, it actually allows him to retain something on the board. Skywalker.
Yeah, with the lifesteal now, it's going to be a lot tougher. Skywalker doesn't have anything charging directly into the face of Reconnect's Hunter. So he's trying himself with the damage. As Reconnect is finally finding his mana scale now to put down stuff on the board, getting some lifesteal.
And the reason you go for the Shadow Step here is, of course, because you don't want to give 4 extra health back to Reconnect by attacking in with that Corsair. So I just it sucks to have to use your Shadow Step in that way,
but this is basically all in for Skywalker.
Right. It's the Skywalker saying, look, he doesn't have very much left. He's going to have the Myra's Unstable Element play next turn because his career is about to come to an abrupt end if he can't find a way to get the kill coming in here, and I don't think that is in his future, G-Clef.
Yeah, Hound with the Timberwolf. To be easy cleanup here.
Wow. How good.
And the lifesteal.
This Hunter. The answer's pretty good. Pretty good.
As long as you have that combo of lifesteal, you're okay. But if you don't have it, it's actually... Reconnect's actually getting really lucky all day today, finding that combo before
every
turn
single
6,
time.
usually.
I think there's one game where he didn't find it.
Yeah, I think there's one game that he found it on turn 7. So Skywalker, that's everything.
Drawing 10 cards for 5 mana. Sounds good, but... I mean, what is he really going to have to deal with? He's got Leroy Shadow Step. That's a bunch of damage.
Leroy Shadow Step and potential few more lackeys. But that's at least 2 more turns that he needs.
Yeah, he's got Van Cleef, so like there's a big lackey turn that could get you a huge Van Cleef, but I think you probably die before then. Yeah, what do you do with the board at this point?
You don't want to use the back. You might have to consider using the backstab. But you don't want to because you want to have the maximum value from the Vent Cleave.
Yeah, yeah, dagger. I guess that's one way to do it. So we've got a couple of plays coming up. You've got a giant Van Cleave turn, and then you've got all the lackey spam that you want to do with those 2 evil miscreants. So I think maybe you do the miscreant turn first, and then you use the 1 mana lackeys to get a gigantic Van Cleave. You can get like a 16 damage Van Cleave.
That's for sure, but even with that, the second Dark Frenzy on the scale line, I think this is getting too scary.
Yeah, this is pretty over at this point, especially with no more cards coming in. You're going to be taking fatigue damage over and over again. There's the backstab to trigger the lackeys, or maybe just go for the Van Cleave. Nope, got to get the lackeys. If he's able to get 3 Kobold lackeys, then he can clear that Scale Hide. That would be gigantic, but unfortunately, he gets Ethereals. What kind of spells are we talking about here? Oh, Walk the Plank, it doesn't work, because the Scale Hide's damaged.
Yeah, Shadow Stab is the best one.
For sure.
And Red Trap.
Sick! Betrayal, that's not bad, but, I mean, it's not good either. Okay. There's my analysis there. What do you do here? I guess try to betrayal.
Yeah, you don't want any more lifesteal, so you want that to go away. You want to get another spell.
Nothing.
Another Myra.
Yeah, another preparation.
And then you go for Shadow Step, and then you hit the Van Cleave. So this Van Cleave is going to be 14. No, more than that.
Will be really high.
24!
Yes, there was a lot of cards going back and forth.
Well, I mean, there it is. Lining it up.
Shot? No.
Well, he's got Mark Shot, or to get the deadly shot with.
You can go for the Mark Shot and then look for his options.
Man, how good are both of these decks? Even though they're both kind of on their last leg, their last turns, they still have the potential to turn it around.
I think Mark Shot is the only option. You can't really look. I don't think he can.
Yeah, there's no way to deal enough damage. He's dead next turn.
Yeah, you gotta look for a spell. That's the only way. But which one do you target? Okay, what are the choices?
What are they?
What are the choices? And what's he?
What does he get? What does he get? Oh no! The tragedy of Darth Reconnect the Wise.
Quickly.
It's not a tale you'd hear about.
Time's ticking.
most broadcasts.
Time's ticking.
Well, for Reconnect, his time is over. 24 damage. Myra's unstable element barely getting Skywalker back into this game.
Is he trying to pretend that getting all the minions out, so pretending that that's a misdirection?
You have to let him hit you in the face for 24. Like, come on. You got to give it to him.
Yeah, but checking for misdirection before you go for the Van Cleef.
Ah, explosive trap. Feels bad to be Leroy, but pretty good to be Edwin Van Cleef. 24 to the dome. Skywalker grabs victory out of the jaws of defeat and somehow takes game number 1.
That's perfect. Getting all those preparations matters. I mean, even if you get the Rogue Nerf, if you can still win with it. Yes, this primary deck does have Chef Nomi.
Okay. Yeah, this is very interesting for Skywalker. So he's got not only Chef Nomi, but the Wisp that I forget who it was that put
4 combos.
The Wisp in the deck, but it's great because it is essentially another coin.
Yeah, but it's not an extra card in your hand. A coin is extra card in your hand.
That's true.
Yeah.
But
it's burning through your hand.
Just for combos.
Yes. There's that real coin. No more fake coins.
We also have the counterfeit coin if you want to put that one in there. Although, so there, yeah, I don't know. I missed the counterfeit coin. It was good while it lasted. So now look at that, a whole bunch of free stuff in your hand, as well as this turn 2 prep raiding party.
Feels good.
Every single time, man, Skywalker.
Yeah, Skywalker's already ready for the next turn, just like in game 1.
So much consistency.
You're gonna get very similar board.
Oh my goodness. Well, history repeating itself in a pretty horrendous way.
Yeah, Reconnect is saying, okay, got my hyenas this time. Spring Fall to actually get 1 value here. That's a second hyena too.
Yeah, but look how perfect this turn is for Skywalker. Reconnect thinks he's about to develop a hyena until one day all that changed. Although Reconnect can predict half of Skywalker's hands. He knows he has the coin. He knows he has the Waggle Pick and the Double Pirates. So he knows exactly what to expect this turn.
For sure, but not even going to spend that Dread Corsair or the Wisp.
Yeah, what's that about? Are you just really saving it for the Van Cleef this turn?
I think you're really just concerned about the rush that's going to just bring your minion down. It's very likely with the first hyena there are a few other set of rushes. Scale High links that he knows already from having that Spring Paw.
And you know about Mark Shot too, so... Well, he doesn't know that it's there, but he knows that it exists and could come out, so... not willing to sacrifice the Dread Corsair to that.
And for Reconnect, just having Hyena Dire Frenzy, that's also really good. Because this time, the board from Skywalker is not as pressuring as the last game, as his life is still 28. Might actually not need that many lifesteal.
Yeah, you're right. You can actually use that Dire Frenzy on quite a few different options. Hyena's great. Having the rush from the Lynxes, also amazing. So let's think what the play is here for Skywalker. Is it just to clear the board, develop that SI agent maybe?
Dread Corsair plus SI would also be okay.
I wonder.
Do you really spend the backstab already? I think not, because you want to have something with damage.
This guy's toast.
Toasted.
He is lightly golden brown. Well, I mean, hey, that's a very good board there for Skywalker, but like we said earlier, sets up for a very nice Mark Shot. And we are going to be able to see what the choices are for these discovered cards.
So Mark Shot, you're going to get a spell, but you do not have any direct minions to call. So thinking about just doing Master's Call and Hero Power, or even having a few more cards if it comes out.
Yep, there it is, the Master's Call. What are we going to get? There's the Scale Hide. So setting up perfectly for a turn 6 Reconnect. How does he do it without even trying?
He's trying really hard. He's called for it.
He's like, hello, can you give me the card I need, please? And there it is. Unless you get really unlucky and you don't get that. But as is, things are really working out almost perfectly for both players. Skywalker's getting the perfect combos he needs, and Reconnect is just coming right back at him. So this is really cool to see just such a slugfest between both players able to play their decks exactly how they want them to.
Is it exactly how...
It's pretty close, man. I mean, the only thing that Skywalker doesn't have is a 24-24 Van Cleef this turn.
Well, that might be coming in later. And also to be ready for that scale hide, Skywalker does have sap. So
true.
Might actually be able to buy one more turn. Keep that frenzy away. No further combos to do for Skywalker.
Yeah. I mean, all the while he's just building up for that gigantic combo turn where you throw down a massive Van Cleef and dare your opponent to be able to deal with it. For Reconnect, his turn's a little bit easier to think through. It's just like, me play Scale Hide, me Dire Frenzy. Sick Hunter logic right there. The next turn, he's gonna hit the face with a unit. We're really just thinking ahead. We can see the future here.
Might just trade with the SI.
Yeah, you don't feel too bad about giving 4 health back to your opponent because the rogue's way to deal damage is going to be from a giant.
It might just get worse.
Van Cleef.
Might just get worse. And is there other source of damage? Not directly into the scale hide. So Skywalker, how does he want
to do that? I think sapping it is maybe the correct play. It makes it a lot easier to get lethal with a Van Cleef later on. It's still going to give you the combo off the raiding party, which not only thins your deck out, it's going to draw you more cards, gives you the waggle pick next turn to push even more damage, and of course you get that Dread Corsair, which is perfect for the combo.
So Skywalker, which one do you clear out? Just Lynx? To not give any further, but it's going to be traded.
I think it's pretty much the same either way. The only decision is if you hit face, and he does.
Just summing up all the number of damage that you need, because that one life steal was actually still big, but you know that scale hide is available in the hand.
Exactly.
With further life steal.
Yeah, I mean that could absolutely be the play. I think the other one that you might make is just developing Tundra Rhino, just because it is such a high threat minion on the board. The only problem with doing that is that maybe you would also need to play Timberwolf, or maybe just replay that Vicious Scale Hide.
It's okay to just trade with the Rhino, or actually to charge into the face with the Scale too. That
You
fits 7
could
mana.
play Rhino Timberwolf.
Yeah, Timberwolf will be more damage.
Quickly.
He wants to see what he gets first.
Oh, Master's
draws.
Call. That's not bad. I mean,
But you don't get to put the Rhino this turn then.
yeah, I really like developing that Rhino just because it's such a high threat minion on the board, but he's still going to be able to call one of those Scale Hides into his board, even though he had to trade inefficiently a little bit. He still gets that life right back. Man, this hand from Skywalker is so scary because as soon as he hits Van Cleef, it's just going to be a million billion damage.
Blood and
I calculated that exactly on my fingers.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean, but another life, another +4 for Reconnect, and he has another Scale Hide in his hand already. So Skywalker is going to might be facing his destiny soon enough in a few turns.
I think it really does depend on what the future of Skywalker holds. Will he be able to find the Misasi Temple and raise an army of little Skywalkers, or will he turn to the dark side here, reconnect? Developing a pretty scary board on the other side, saying, look, Skywalker, if you want to wait for that Van Cleef, wait for that Myra's Unstable Element, go for it. You might just die before you get there.
Think you're running out of options?
Yeah, I mean, you can Shadow Step this as many times as you want to get a lot of health back, but you're still not dealing with the board.
Yeah, you gotta really find some way to clean up the board, and Skywalker doesn't really have anything to draw. That's the main problem right now. Removing some damage to not go lethal this turn, but with another Frenzy from Reconnect, things might get out of control with the Rhino and the Frenzy.
Yeah, I think the Rhino is really the big sort of nail in the
That's why
coffin at this
Skywalker
point.
wants to heal up just a little more because of just buying him one more time to not go lethal.
But that does trigger Rat Trap, so unknowingly, Skywalker is actually kind of played into Reconnect's hands. Even spending this Shadow Step here is maybe not even what he wants. Just saying, look, I gotta deal with the board, I gotta contest it, putting everything from his hand out on the board.
Yeah, Shadow Steps basically triggered the combo anyhow, so just putting everything on the board. Reconnect is looking for lethal.
And I think he's, does he have it?
Gets Huffer.
Nope.
Misha.
I mean, it doesn't matter because he's got Tundra Rhino, but
Yep.
still, that's 1.5 million damage. Tapping out.
Damage.
Yep. That's 1.5 million damage, G-Club.
That's
I was
1-1
able
though.
to get that turn to raiding party, but unfortunately didn't really have a whole lot after that.
Oh, we're going straight into game 3. Wow, what the speed. All the players, they just want to get this on. And I think we're still staying with the primaries. Very, very likely.
Yeah, because the Fairy Dragon is in Skywalker's primary deck, and I think Reconnect is just sticking with his main, basically a net deck at this point. If you guys want to play this deck that Reconnect is playing, I'm pretty sure it is...
It's one of the most common mid-range Beast Hunter deck, so you can just find it anywhere.
Yeah, the most common archetype. It's been played in the Grandmaster circuit. It's on the most legendary net deck websites out there. You can just find it anywhere. If you just put random beast cards into your deck, it'll be pretty close.
Skywalker not really finding himself so lucky with Chef Nobi again in his starting hand. Might actually has to just use super early Edwin.
I mean, I do love having the Edwin here. I think it's a great sort of tempo play because he's also going to be able to use the backstab. So this is a what, 6/6?
Brotherhood shall not
So all of a sudden, turn 3, you're getting past a 3/2 that you can't target and a 6/6. So good luck dealing that one.
A lot of small.
to my side.
Oh my goodness, the worst possible.
Yeah, was looking for Misha.
Misha, or, I mean, even if you get Huffer, you can at least still trade that.
Yeah,
But
that's
with,
still, yeah. Just
with Leok, you can't do anything. You can even play Sap here. What do you think about that play, G-Clef?
Yes, because Reconnect's gonna have a lot of, maybe at least some rush with the Scale Hide or at least some Spring Paw. And you want to keep your Edwin alive. And that's what you actually went for. You already used your Wisp and
Is this game just over?
Backstab. I don't think it's over.
Well, there are...
But the dragons are the problem. They can't be targeted.
Yeah, I mean, Edwin's a pretty big problem here, too. I mean, at least some of the damage will be coming off the board, and then maybe next turn you can get a little bit more, keep chipping away at this. He'll have Mark Shot next turn.
Problem solved.
But hey, a lot of resources spent to deal with this board.
Hero power to take Timber out.
What do you think about playing Myra's Unstable Element as soon as you draw it, and then just going Nomi after this?
No.
It's
if
basically
your Edwin survives, maybe. If your Edwin's dead by that time, I don't think so.
How much you want to bet we get a Scale High draw on 6 to have another perfect turn 6 for Reconnect's Hunter?
He needs Master's Call to get it. So maybe he will have the perfect chance.
It seems like he gets that perfect chance.
Yeah, with the links,
all the
Edwin
time.
is going to be gone. This is what Reconnect is basically baited for. Starting from turn 3, he had a good setup.
Oh, well, would you look at that? The perfect combo to set up for the Eviscerate kill on the Hyena.
Waggles.
Doesn't go for the eviscerate kill on the hyena. That was a little bit short-sighted for me to just say, oh, well, I mean, it's got 4 health, so you just kill it.
Gonna go for that lethal next turn.
Yep. Going for the winning play, not the tempo. Might just slowly lose the gameplay. And I guess that is actually the correct way to play this. What's he gonna draw? Is it lethal? 4 and 4 make 8.
Yeah, with the combo, yes, that is actually directly to the face. So everything he has been putting in, Skywalker has made it worth it with the early board pressure with the headwind. Does work out with the combo, eviscerate to finish.
And that's gonna do it. Congratulations to Skywalker. You will make the comeback for a second win, or a